So yesterday we drove the Concagmagus Highway and saw all the scenic lookouts along that highway. And while we were out doing that, we found out that there are a couple other really great scenic lookouts that you can just drive to. And one of them is the top of Mount Washington, which is the tallest summit in all of New England. It is over 6,000 feet tall, and it just looks out over everything. It's a complete 360-degree view of just basically everything around it. And then the other thing we're gonna do is the, what's it called, Jenny? Cathedral Ledge. And that is another great lookout. I have no idea how tall it is, but it's supposed to be beautiful, so that's what we're gonna do. So the top of Mount Washington is claimed to have some of the worst weather in the world, which I find kind of hard to believe, but that's what it says on the brochure. It does hold the world record for a land-based wind speed recording of 231 mile an hour. So there is that. And the average temperature up there is 40-ish degrees in the summer. So in the winter, it's basically always just completely below freezing, but good thing it's August. So it should be about 40 degrees up there, but it's like 75 here, but we're still packing winter clothes so that when we're up there, we're not freezing.
All right, so David and I have not been getting the best sleep lately, and I think last night was the worst night of sleep we've gotten so far. I was cold, and because I was cold, I was tossing and turning a lot, and that woke David up, and because David was tossing and turning all night, that kept me up, plus the rabbits are loud and annoying for no reason at 2 o'clock in the morning. So I'm a little grumpy, David's a little grumpy, so we have a very large cup of coffee, and to help try and raise our spirits a little bit, we're gonna go to the top of a mountain.
Caffeine helps.
Rabbits are most active in the evening and the morning, and they're waking us up at 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, and then again when the sun starts coming up at 5:30 in the morning. And I don't really know what to do about it, so we're probably just gonna have to deal with it. But I'm actually not that upset. I already don't normally get very good sleep. David gets better sleep than I do typically, and so he's suffering more than I am right now. It's just frustrating being woken up all the time throughout the night.
Basically, the entire living and sleeping space is one room, so if the animals want to be annoying, then they are going to be able to annoy you at all hours of the day and night.
Yep. We're thinking maybe someday we'll upgrade to the Springdale fifth wheel we had been thinking about, because it does have an actual bedroom, and the rabbits would stay in the living room away from us, where them barely chewing on their bars loud enough to make a whole lot of noise wouldn't actually wake us up. It's because their cage is right next to my side of the bed. On a more excited note, we're driving the top of a mountain today. I'm nervous. We're already over a mile in, and when we were at the toll booth, they told us to pull the driver's side mirror in. I went ahead and pulled my mirror in too until David tried to drive us off the road already. So I put it back out so he could see the edge of the road over here. And he's scaring the bejeebers out of me. I'm serious. He's gonna drive us off the road. Oh, this.
It's not my fault. You're just a fraidy cat.
It's making me a little nervous. Just a little nervous.
So I had to pull in my side mirror because they said this road gets very narrow. So we had to angle this side mirror in. We're leaving that side mirror out, like Jenny said, so I can actually still see my back tires, but we're probably gonna have to pull it in eventually too, because I'm pretty sure the road narrows even more up ahead. even to the top, and it's this windy. Jeez.
Making my eyes water.
So we have climbed all the way from down there. You can just see kind of where that last bit of footage was where we were stopped. All the way down there. I think that's 1,000 feet difference. We're at 5,000 feet now, and I believe down there was 4,000 feet. Right around in here. The main building up here was built to withstand over 300 mile an hour wind speeds, and the other buildings are literally chained to the ground to handle the 200 plus mile an hour winds that they get up here. So there are 4 ways you can get up on top of Mount Washington. We decided to drive ourselves because we wanted to just, take as much time as we wanted to do, or as much time as we wanted to look at all the, scenic lookouts on the way up, and also when we're up here. You can also take a guided tour, which takes the same auto road up here. You can hike, which is a little insane for us, but some people are badass enough to do that. And you can also take the Cog Railway, which is right behind me. What's cool about this railway is it actually uses cogs, kind of like a roller coaster does, climbing up the hills, because it has to climb up the huge inclines up, and I'm sure going down also to use as brakes. The tip-top house behind me was originally built in 1854 by, and I'm quoting, 2 thoroughgoing Yankees that wanted to build a inn and retreat for hikers and tourists, much like me and Jenni, that wanted to see the beautiful sights on top of Mount Washington. The original tip-top house was built out of stones. It had walls made out of stone that looked just like this one behind me. The original unfortunately burned in 1890. Just a week after, a second tip-top house was built to replace the old one. So we just came outside from the museum and we were in there for about an hour or so, and I wanted to take some video of just the view from up here. And now we're completely covered in a cloud. We read down there that 60% of the time the observatory up here is in the clouds. So you can't see further than 200 feet now. So it looks like fog, but it is just a straight up cloud. It's actually pretty cool. Behind me is supposed to be a beautiful view of everything below Mount Washington, but since we are now in a cloud, you can barely even see 200 feet. It's just completely gray everywhere. That was really cool. One of the coolest things I've done. So if you're ever in New Hampshire, I definitely recommend coming to the top of Mount Washington. The views are breathtaking. The mountains all around here. It's the tallest mountain in the Northeast. So it was really awesome, and I highly recommend doing it. Driving back down now is a little more intense than going up. Thankfully, the truck's diesel engine is really braking really well, and I barely have to touch the foot pedal unless we're on kind of a steep decline, but it's keeping us below 20 miles an hour and doing a really good job. So we just got back to the base of Mount Washington, the mountain just right behind me, and we spent so much time up there just learning the history and walking through the museum that's up there and just looking at everything, that it's already 7 o'clock, and Cathedral Ledge is a full hour away from us. So we're gonna save that for another day because we don't want to get there and it'd be really dark and not really be able to see anything. We're gonna go ahead and call it a night here and just find somewhere to eat because we are starving.
Let's go. I'm gonna eat a horse. I'm hungry, very hungry.
So we were on our way back and we realized we're completely out of water. So we had our water jugs in the back of the truck, and after calling around, we finally found a place close by that allowed us to fill up our water for making a donation called Moosebrook State Park. And yep, this is how we get our water. This is a lot easier than just taking the RV somewhere and filling up the entire RV fresh tank. We just come here in the truck and fill up all our jugs and we're good to go. What's on the menu for tonight? Whoa! Someone's excited we're home.
Leftovers.
Dang, what is that? We got
Rice, beans,
pasta, beans, and rice.
Yep.
All right, I like it. That's some good leftovers. We got a good day. Got to have some warm food. We got some water, and our batteries are full. So it's a good day. Have a good night. Catch you guys later.